So as we read this, I want you to read along with me and I want you to be thinking, what is an ecosystem? What details can I use from this text to help me describe or explain what an ecosystem is? All right, any little detail that you think is connected, and go ahead and pause the video when you go to write down any of your notes. Okay, so here we go. I spy an ecosystem. What is an ecosystem? We hear the word ecosystem in the news and at school, but just what are ecosystems? To start off, let's take a quick look at the word because it holds some clues to its meaning. Eco comes from ancient Greek and Latin and means house. So eco means that all of the parts exist together as if they were in a house. You've probably heard the word system in lots of places, and it means interacting parts. So system tells us that not only do the parts exist together as if they were in one house, but the parts also affect one another. Think of the last time you were outdoors. You were probably outside your house or school. What did you see? You maybe saw living things like grass and people. You may also remember non-living things like concrete, soil, or maybe puddles or snowbanks. An ecosystem contains all of those parts that you can see, like soil, water, insects, rocks, birds, trees, and people. There are also parts you cannot see with your eye, including microscopic organisms like bacteria and fungi, or molecules of food and nutrients that are in water, soil, and air. So this paragraph is great, right? Lots of examples of what types of things are in an ecosystem. So I would say you could probably get some notes from that paragraph right there. Often ecosystems are confused with another word, habitat. This describes the conditions that a particular organism needs to live. For example, a whale needs salty water and fish to eat. Gophers need plants to eat and soil to burrow in. And giant sequoias, a tree, need lots of water and soil nutrients. Ecosystems include much more than just the requirements needed for a particular type of organism to live. Ecosystems include interactions among many types of organisms and abiotic parts of the environment too. What are ecosystems? Now that you know what an ecosystem is, you might think you have a good idea, or sorry, this is called where are ecosystems, my bad. Now that you know what an ecosystem is, you might think you have a good idea where you would find one. But you might be surprised by all the places where you can find an ecosystem. Did you know that your mouth holds an ecosystem? Yeah, rub your tongue over your teeth. When you get up in the morning, notice the slimy coating? That coating is part of a developing ecosystem. Your mouth has many types of microscopic organisms living in it, including bacteria, fungi, and protozoa. These organisms get the food and nutrients they need to live from the foods you eat. The types of foods you eat allow some organisms to grow better than others. Your teeth are surfaces that the microorganisms can hold onto as they grow and reproduce. But the microorganisms also make acid that can change the structure of your teeth, giving you cavities. So I guess we have this country, right? And here we have a desert ecosystem. And within that desert ecosystem is a city ecosystem. And within that city ecosystem, you've got this person who's got a whole ecosystem in their mouth. So ecosystems can be large, medium-sized, or really, really small. After you brush your teeth and head off to school or work, you find yourself within an ecosystem, maybe a town or a city. Maybe you live in a forest or a farm. In fact, you are part of the ecosystem. You are part of an ecosystem because you interact with other parts of the ecosystem. You eat other organisms, and your waste products, in turn, may be used by still other organisms for their growth. You also breathe air and drink water that is present in your ecosystem. And by doing this, you change the makeup of the air and water. Right? You breathe in oxygen, you breathe out carbon dioxide. If you look around, you will begin to see many examples of ecosystems. Ponds, lakes, coral reefs, streams, or the whole ocean are just a few examples. And you can see that size is not part of the definition of an ecosystem. All right, so what is an ecosystem? What details can you use to describe it? If you need to rewatch this video, great. You can also take a look at this article in the stream section.